Now, if you're needing some weekend plans, Concrete Street Amphitheater is converting their outdoor concert venue into a drive-in theater. The Concrete Street Star-Lite drive-in theater will allow families to enjoy a movie while safely practicing social distancing. The first movie showing will be at 9 o'clock tonight with Avengers: Infinity War, and tomorrow night will be Trolls World Tour. The theater will have 100 reserved slots for vehicles with tickets starting at $40, which include a $20 food and beverage voucher for moviegoers. Sounds cool.